Hello everyone, you're welcome to this video. If you're new here, my name is Moyo and you're so welcome to She Bites. I make videos all about food, faith and lifestyle. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a lovely and delicious stew with these sweet potato leaves. I planted 2 potatoes in my garden about a month ago and it's been producing a bountiful harvest of leaves. If you didn't know, sweet potato leaves are highly medicinal and they're great to be eaten raw or cooked. So today we're going to be making a spicy and delicious stew with our sweet potato leaves. So stay tuned to see the full recipe video. There's a little bit of a twist in this recipe that's going to take the flavor to the next level. Thank you guys so much for watching. Share these videos with others who you think would enjoy it also, and subscribe if you're new here. So as I mentioned earlier, I planted 2 potatoes and as you can see, it's produced a lot of leaves. It's even climbing up my pepper plant, and so I decided that they had to be used for something as soon as possible. The great thing about these leaves is that both the leaves and the stalk are edible. Although today I'm not going to be using the stalk, just so you know, you can use both the leaves and the stalk in whatever it is you want to use them for. So I'm just going to unravel them from my pepper plant and cut up a good amount so that I can use it for the stew. Now that we have our leaves, as I was plucking them, I realized that we actually had some peppers in the garden that were ripe to be plucked. These are spicy peppers that we're just going to chop up and use in this recipe as well. There's so much freshness going on. It excites me so much. So as you can see, we have all these tiny bits of sand and dust on our leaves, and so it's very important for you to wash them very well. You want to submerge them in water so that all the dirt and the debris moves to the bottom of the water bath or your sink, and then there's no residue left on the leaves. Just make sure they're very clean. Then you can take them out, and then we're going to pluck off the leaves from the stems. As I mentioned before, these stalks can actually be eaten. You can cut everything up together, but today I'm just going to use the leaves. But if you want to, you can use the stalks as well in your stew. So now that we have our nice clean leaves, we're going to roll them up and slice them very thinly. Some people actually leave the leaves whole and just cook them down, because when you cook them, they're going to wilt, lose a lot of the moisture and become very small. But I just prefer them nicely sliced so that it's easy to eat with whatever it is you want to eat them with. It's important to nicely layer and arrange your leaves and then just slice them through once. That's all we're going to be doing in this case. Now that our leaves are nicely prepped, we can start with the other ingredients and the base of the stew. In a medium saucepan or sauce pot, you want to add about 2 tablespoons of palm oil and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Then we're going to add in sliced onions and sliced chilies. Remember the chilies that we picked from the garden? Yes, we're putting them in at this point. We're going to stir fry this lightly for a couple of minutes, and in the meantime we're going to prepare our spice blend. So today we're going to be using thyme and cumin as our spices, and you just want to pound them until they've slightly broken apart so that they can release their spices much more easily. Then we're going to add that into the onions and chilies in the pan, as well as some ginger and garlic paste and some iru or locust bean. Stir this all together, just cook it for a further 2 minutes until it's nice and fragrant, and then we're going to be adding our blended peppers. So this is a mixture of peppers, tatashe, rodo or scotch bonnet, and some onions. This has been blended, and then we're just going to add it in and mix everything together. It actually just came out of the freezer, so it's frozen. So just going to wait for it to melt down and incorporate into what we already have in the pan. Now that everything has come together nicely, we're going to be adding in some dried fish. This is dried shawa fish. And we're also going to be adding our stock component here. This is kind of the secret ingredients for this recipe because this is actually pepper soup base. It's pepper soup that I made previously. So it has all the pepper soup spices, it has very tender meat, and we've basically brought that into this to give it a nice depth of flavor. So we're going to leave that to cook on a medium heat until most of the liquid has evaporated, and then we have this concentrated stew base that has so much flavor. Then we can add in our nicely sliced leaves, stir everything together until very well incorporated. We're also adding a touch of salt at this point. You can adjust your seasoning if you need more salt or pepper or herbs. We're going to stir everything together very nicely until well incorporated. And you're going to see that as we stir, the sweet potato leaves are going to wilt and basically give off their water and reduce their volume. So after stirring for about 2 minutes, you'll notice that everything has calmed down and is looking much less watery, and then your stew is basically ready. You can turn off the heat, or if you prefer it to be more cooked, you can cook for a further 1 or 2 minutes, but it is basically ready. So this was definitely a unique meal that went absolutely right. I was a bit skeptical adding pepper soup, or if I should just add normal stock, but the pepper soup base gave it an amazing amount of flavor. Don't worry, all the recipe details are in the description box below, so make sure you check it out. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On the day I made it, I served it with some beans. You could eat this with rice or any form of swallow, fufu, eba that you enjoy. And I hope you share this video with others. If you try it out, don't forget to tag me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!